You've woken up and the dread has hit. Everybody hates me. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to look at. I'm done. I'm done. Are these feelings that you're feeling or have felt? If so, this video may help you. Stick around to the end because the last one is the most important thing to take away from this video. Today I want to talk about Hangxiety, but everything that I speak about in this video can also be applied to just a general feeling of anxiety. Last week I had one of the most embarrassing nights of my recent life. I got a level of drunk that I haven't for a very long time, embarrassed myself, or at least I thought I did, and I was actually asked to leave a bar. And I'm nearly 40 years old. For me, that is absolutely devastating and just crushed my little esteem to absolutely nothing when I realised what had happened. I hadn't even remembered particularly being asked to leave. That's how bad this was. So how did I overcome that? How am I able to sit here now and talk about it without feeling that same level of crushing shame? Well, there are 4 things that I do and did that allow me to move on from that feeling of anxiety when it's about, and I think this is what's key. Anxiety is often this feeling of like everyone is angry at me or disappointed in me or like the world is pointed against me. It feels like the world has shrunken to absolutely nothing, just me and my thoughts. So this video is for you if you're feeling like that. It doesn't have to be alcohol related, just for me it was. And by the way, I am absolutely not in any way promoting binge drinking, alcohol, whatever. I think it's kind of a curse of my particular British generation that we feel the need to be like this. Let's move on from that. So here's thing number 1 that you need to know. You're thinking that everyone's thinking about you, aren't you? Okay, now stop. Is there anyone that you're thinking about their behavior, about something that they did, something that they said? No, right? You're not sitting there going, oh my God, that person, or oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm never going to be able to talk to that person again. I hope they're feeling embarrassed. I hope they feel bad. And the reason you're not thinking that is the same as the reason they're not thinking that about you. Everyone's kind of more concerned with themselves and their own perception than they are about other people's behavior. They are not thinking about you. Number 2, to help yourself get out of that feeling, this is really important. So after this big, embarrassing night that I'd had, I got home at like 5:30 and my wife wakes me up at 11 o'clock and she goes, right, it's sunny outside, we're not rotting in bed, you're getting out there, you're going on a bike ride. A bike ride when you're feeling like this, right? I already felt horrendous just from the pure binge, but also from the anxiety and the tiredness and everything. We cycled to the pub, unhelpfully or ironically or something. And at first, it was the worst thing I'd ever done. However, the second thing I want to say is when you're in this feeling, you've got to distract yourself. Now, a lot of therapists and counselors will say that you should sit with your feelings. They're not talking about a momentary feeling that has no real basis. When they say that, they're talking about real kernel core feelings like why do you have those perceptions of the world? Why do you have those particular chronic anxieties? They're not talking about sit with this feeling of feeling like you've done something horrendous when you probably haven't. So the second thing to do is distract yourself, because as soon as I'd gone on that bike ride and sat down at the pub with my dog, with my wife, and had a chat, the world felt a little bit lighter. And then as soon as you've done that, you break the cycle, because that cycle can be exponential. Oh, I did this. Oh, what about that? Oh, no. And then you're having a conversation with yourself, and at that point, you hate yourself more than anyone. So why are you talking to you? Do something to get out of your own head. Number 3, this one's really tough. They're all pretty tough. This one's really tough. Say it out loud to someone. My friend came over on the Tuesday. This was after the Saturday where I had my own horrendous experience. And I said, oh yeah, I was really bad on Saturday morning. Anxiety. Friday, it was so bad. And he was like, oh mate, I don't even know if I can tell you this story. I'm not going to tell you the story. He hasn't given me permission. I don't want to out him like that. But just safe to say, it was a pretty embarrassing story, but not embarrassing in the way that he thought. And that's the point. As soon as he said it out loud to me and my wife in the kitchen, we were all laughing about it. Because talking about something diminishes the scale and size of it. Those 2 words mean the same thing. It diminishes it. As soon as he said his thing out loud and I said my thing out loud and we were all laughing about it, it just didn't feel that important anymore. And all the work that I've done in the past with Talk About It Mate and as a facilitator of peer support sessions and as a participant in those sessions, that's what peer support is. It's not therapy, it's not counselling, it's not direct conversation to you. It's the sharing of experiences that mean that you feel like, oh, I'm not alone in this. And by virtue of that, you don't feel like it's so powerful over you. Oh, this thing that I did is actually just a part of being a human. It's part of what we all experience. Say it out loud to someone that you trust. And that brings me right along to number 4. This one takes longer. You ain't going to do it the day that you feel anxiety, depression, whatever it is. This ain't going to be something you can just do. However, it's something you should start to do now in readiness. Surround yourself with people that support you. This isn't a given. You will say, well, I've got friends, I've got family. They ain't necessarily people that support you.
What the hell is wrong with you? We're a family!
I speak from lots of experience of having relationships with people that were unhelpful for me. And similarly, I was unhelpful to a lot of those people. I'm not saying that I'm absolved of blame. Ultimately, over time, I've curated and formed a group of friends and family that I know, not unconditionally necessarily in all cases, will have my back up until a very high threshold. Even if I make a big mistake, even if I upset someone, they will be positive with me. And as an example of this, I sat at the pub and I actually said to my friends who were with me on that Friday, I said, look, I was thinking about driving tonight because I was so embarrassed about that. They were like, mate, come on, you weren't that bad. We had a great night. I was like, I honestly can't even remember. And they were like, look, I had a great night. You got a little bit sloppy at the end of the night. We all have those nights. We all do those things. And you know what? We really love spending time with you. Having the right people to bounce off is just hugely important. If I'd had a friend at that point who'd been like, yeah, was a bit bad, mate, or could have said that, but then followed it up with, I actually think you need to think differently about how you behave. That may have been a fair criticism, but it's all about picking your moments of when to say those types of things. But yeah, surround yourself with people, with friends, with family who have got your back ultimately.
You support us, Sunday. Do you believe in me?
4 things, let's recap, are: number 1, consider the fact that no one else is thinking the things that you're thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. Number 2, go distract yourself. Go do something that will get your mind off it and help you to be able to think about something else for a little bit of time that stops that exponential cycle. Number 3, say it out loud to someone. Anyone that you trust, that supports you, anyone that you know is going to have your back, which brings us nicely on to number 4, build a community that has your back. Get friends and family that genuinely care about you. If you do these 4 things, it doesn't mean that magically anxiety, depression, feelings of loneliness and isolation are going to go away. But for me, they are massively helpful. In none of these videos am I ever saying that this is advice that you should definitely follow and they'll definitely work. Everyone's situation is individual, everyone needs different kinds of support at different times, but these are just 4 things that for me really help me in this case and in other cases to move on from that feeling. So if it helps you, that'd be fantastic. Please drop a like, subscribe for more of this type of content, and I'd love to see you around here more often. For now, thanks for being a cutie and being here at the Rights Angle.